Japan is one of the most beautiful and welcoming countries in the world, but it's also a place where it's easy for Westerners to offend the locals. In this video, we're covering 9 things you must not do in Japan. By the end of this video, you'll know what to avoid doing so you can avoid embarrassing or disrespectful situations, which are all too easy to make. Be sure to watch until the end, because some of these mistakes you could easily make without thinking. In Japan, even pointing your finger can be seen as highly disrespectful. Here are 9 things that Western tourists commonly do wrong whilst visiting Japan. The first mistake is so easy to make, it'll shock you. Picture this. So you've arrived in Tokyo, and after a day of sightseeing, you decide to sample the local food by visiting a restaurant downtown. You devour the food, which is delicious, and you naturally want to show your appreciation by leaving a big fat tip. And right there, we have mistake number 1. Tipping is not customary and can be seen as insulting in Japan. This is a classic mistake, but there is a solution if you would like to show your appreciation to the server. So instead, simply give a small bow and say, "Gochisousama deshita," which means, "It was a great meal." Mistake number 2 is chopstick etiquette. Yep, just like Westerners, the Japanese have a certain etiquette when it comes to using their version of cutlery. The biggest offense you can commit is to stick your chopsticks upright in rice. In Japan, doing so resembles a funeral offering. Also, avoid pointing or spearing food, and don't rub disposable chopsticks together because this implies that they are cheap, so the establishment will be offended. When you're done, place them neatly on a rest or across your bowl, never crossed, because again, this is rude. Mistake number 3 is easily done if you happen to be traveling as a group in Japan and if you're having lots of fun out and about. In Europe and America, we kinda just put up with this, but in Japan it's seen as massively rude and disrespectful. The Japanese have an expectation of quiet on trains and buses. So that means no loud conversations or phone calls, and certainly no streaming of YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels. Number 4 on our list is a bit strange, but once you get used to it, it's fine. Wearing shoes indoors is generally not done in Japan. Even if you visit some restaurants, you'll be expected to remove your footwear. You'll then typically switch to slippers provided by the host. There are even separate toilet slippers for use only in the bathroom, which you should remember to switch back out of when you leave the restroom. If you want to be highly disrespectful, you'll walk right through a building with your shoes on and offend everyone present. We're halfway through our guide. If you're as fascinated by Japan as we are, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more travel content, destination guides, and cultural insights. Okay, back to the video. At number 5, we have something that you'll do back home without even thinking about. It's so common in the West that you'll see it everywhere and not think anything of it, yet in Japan it's seen as rude. I am, of course, talking about eating whilst walking. Eating while walking is generally frowned upon. The Japanese even have a word for it, tabaruki. Japan takes pride in its clean streets, and eating on the go increases the risk of spills and litter. Public bins are also not as common as back home, so you'd be better off staying in one place to finish your sushi rolls. At number 6, we have bathing etiquette. Japan is famous for its hot springs, onsen, and many are popular with tourists. If you visit a hot spring like Hakone, Kusatsu Onsen, or Beppu Onsen, then be sure to wash yourself thoroughly. Wash and rinse your entire body at the designated shower stations before stepping into the communal onsen water. Not doing this properly is massively disrespectful. By the way, in Japan, onsens are almost exclusively enjoyed in the nude. You'll probably be given a modesty towel before entering, but this will have to come off before submerging. Yikes! Number 7 is taking photos without permission. It's just common practice back home to take snaps whenever you feel like it. But in Japan, this can be rude and disrespectful, particularly if you photograph the distinctive geisha girls that you'll see in touristic areas. Geisha and maiko individuals are not tourist attractions, and you'll rarely get permission, so don't even risk it. Even in public places, the Japanese frown upon indiscriminate photos. Courts often side with individuals if their privacy rights are perceived to have been violated, especially if their face is clearly visible or the photo is used commercially. But there is a solution to this, and that is simply to ask. The worst they can say is no. Number 8 is jaywalking, which you should absolutely avoid doing anywhere in Japan. The practice is considered illegal and is culturally frowned upon. Police can issue fines of up to 50,000 yen or even impose imprisonment. Although this sounds extreme, there's a strong cultural emphasis on order, safety, and adherence to rules. Even if no cars are present, you'll often see Japanese people patiently waiting for the pedestrian light to turn green. And finally, at number 9, we have another common mistake that's easy to make but which could offend your Japanese friends. It's the act of pouring your own drink when you're in the company of others. Whilst this might sound trivial, the act of pouring drinks for others is a way to show attentiveness and care for your companions. The act is another sign of Japan's deep cultural focus on respect for others. Just remember to be attentive to others' glasses. Also, it's customary to lift your glass slightly and hold it with both hands as they pour, as a sign of respect and gratitude. So there you have it. 9 things you must not do in Japan if you want to avoid embarrassing or disrespectful situations. Let's recap the 3 most important rules that you must remember whilst you visit the land of the rising sun. First off, don't tip, no matter how instinctive it feels. Second, be quiet when you're out on public transport. The Japanese love peace and quiet, and who can blame them? And third, never jaywalk. Be patient and wait at the crossing point. Remember, the Japanese are generally very tolerant of tourists, so you'll be sure to have a blast. Japan is one of our favorite countries in the world because it's so different from anywhere else. Well, that's a wrap for this video. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more travel content, destination guides, and cultural insights. Have you been to Japan and made any of these mistakes? Share your stories in the comments. If you've got any questions or comments about Japan or travel in general, leave them in the section below. We'll see you in the next video. Happy travels!